More than 3,800 nursing home residents have died of COVID so far this year in Ohio. That's 55% of the total deaths in the state.
But the Ohio Department of Health is now saying it doesn't keep track of which long-term care facilities have COVID deaths or how many each have. Investigative reporter Paula Christian explains how this revelation is the latest twist in WCPO's legal fight to get this important information out to people with loved ones in these homes.
I asked the Ohio Department of Health in June for the number of COVID deaths at each local nursing home. A spokesperson said no, citing privacy concerns. In August, WCPO filed a complaint with the Ohio Court of Claims for that information. Then, just last week, the Ohio Department of Health filed a motion to dismiss, saying it cannot provide that information because it doesn't know how many COVID deaths are occurring at each nursing home. That is something WCPO's attorney, Jack Greiner, calls rank incompetence.
Troubling as it is that the public doesn't have that information, the idea that the Ohio Department of Health, if in fact they can't generate that information for themselves, how are they making resource allocation decisions? I just find that astounding.
Greiner says his mother lived in a nursing home before she died several years ago. If she were still alive, Greiner says he would want to know if her nursing home had COVID deaths.
I would like to know how that facility dealt with COVID, and I think if there were a high number of deaths there, honestly, I'd have to give some serious thought to whether I would place my mom or another loved one there.
That you would draw us closer to you.
In April, Joy Gazaway lost her 60-year-old brother, Donald Gazaway. His death certificate says he died of COVID. He died 3 weeks after going into a nursing home for rehab after a stroke.
This is the silent aspect of the pandemic. These people are dying and nothing is said.
The Ohio Department of Health's website shows only long-term care facilities, which includes nursing homes with COVID cases and how many cases each has. But it does not say how many residents have died there from COVID. Gazaway says that information would have guided her decision in how to choose a nursing home for her brother after his stroke.
Families can't go on that site and see how many fatalities, how many people died while they were staying in a particular facility.
Other states such as Michigan, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, and Indiana do release that information. An attorney for the Ohio Department of Health says in a court filing, ODH does not maintain records by COVID deaths from specific long-term care facilities, so WCPO's complaint should be dismissed. But Greiner says the health department can produce that information and is required to under the law.
It's just not right. It's not in the public's best interest to have this lack of information.
It could be months before a special master and then a judge make a final ruling on this case. And by then, the worst of the pandemic may be over. Paula Christian, WCPO 9 I-Team.
If you'd like to learn more about the Ohio Department of Health's response in this case, be sure to check out Paula's story over on WCPO.com.